What's going on, creatives? This is your host, Ayanna Shon'S, with Ayanna Shon'S Shut Up and Just Create podcast. And I have the one and only heavy hitter DJ, mixtape DJ, radio DJ, club DJ, your favorite artist DJ, DJ NEWERA for the cap low. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
What's going on? So, what's up with you? I think you got a podcast right now.
Yeah, I was like, during this time of quarantine, this was something that I've been really wanting to kick off for maybe a couple of years now. But I used the excuse that I didn't have the time for it. And, I put it off. And since we had this downtime, I really just wanted to focus on making sure that we're staying creative, we're staying with content being uploaded and things of that nature, but also doing it in the form of giving, those creatives and content creators a platform to be able to showcase their work and things of that nature. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and lock straight into this. If you're not familiar, you're going to get familiar. So we're going to start off with so let's open up things. You ready?
Let's do it, man. Let's go.
Tell us, how did you get started in the industry?
I started back in 2008 in college, and I would say I was selling CDs out of my dorm room and stuff. And I had a study session one day with a group of friends from college. And he was like, yo, my birthday is in like 2 weeks. You got all these CDs, you should DJ my party. And I'm like, at the time, I ain't know nothing about DJing. All I knew was how to sell CDs. So basically I was doing some illegal stuff just to put money in my pocket, even though my folks gave me an allowance. But I eventually ended up, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So what I did was, back then Windows Media Player was a big deal.
Right.
So I literally had a case with over, close to about 2,000 CDs. I mean, like, I had original albums, like the albums. And I literally went through half of those CDs that I knew people would ask for as far as songs, and I burned the main songs onto Windows Media Player. And at the time, Brad was his name. He was like, yo, this is the flyer. I didn't have a DJ name, and then so I was like, my name will be DJ Fitted Cap, because I like wearing hats. So they put a flyer together. The flyer was crappy. But, at the end of the day, the party was big by word of mouth, because back then flyers weren't as big as they are now. Mm-hmm. So I did the party, and I remember DJing, and, when you're DJing, everything is a smooth transition. It's a smooth blend. With Windows Media Player, you can scroll and look at the songs you have, but when you click on the song, it's like a 5-second pause until the next song starts. So people can be dancing and grooving, everybody can be turning up, and then I'll be like, oh, shit, I gotta find another song. Then I find the song, and then they'll look at me like, nigga, you good? What's wrong with the music? I'm like, it's coming, man. You give it a minute. So what really made me want to start was the reaction that people gave me, not because of the music being like a pause, but because everybody was having a good time. And I saw how I was able to create memories for people, because people can, to this day, people still talk about that party because it was so lit. The police came and shut it down. You had a line wrapped around an apartment door just to get in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment that couldn't probably hold no more than about 15 people, if even that. And we had it packed out with close to about 80 people in one room. And I had a crappy sound system, but at the end of the day, people just wanted to hear music and drink. So that's kind of how it all started right there with that first party.
Okay, okay. It's funny that you say you had all the CDs because I remember around that time, especially even in middle school. Those that don't know, we actually grew up together, and I remember you
Right.
used to keep like this binder trapper keeper. It was black
Flat,
and with the
flat.
CD sleeves in there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
back then, you was real heavy on Wu-Tang Clan. You know,
Yeah, I got look.
the
I
only
got the
middle
curves on.
schooler the only middle schooler that was on Wu-Tang Clan. I wasn't even on Wu-Tang
Wu-Tang.
Clan
Wu-Tang
at the
Forever.
time.
First CD I ever bought. Double disc Wu-Tang Forever, man. Classic out. Classic.
So
Classic.
you said that you were you were going to do the DJ fitted cap low. How did you end up eventually saying, you know what, NEWERA is a better fit?
Um, when I got my second party with Phi Beta Sigma from Alabama A&M, it was a cookout, and they made a flyer, and I was like, DJ Fitted Cap. I said, man, this ain't gonna cut it. So I said, let me think of something that when you hear the name, you think of more than just a black DJ
Okay.
that just play for, black people. I mean, I don't want to sound crazy, but a black DJ that can only play for black people. So I said, let me think of something that where when people hear it, they think, okay, this guy, either he's white or black, one of the two, but he's versatile when it comes to being able to play for crowds.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? I wear hats all the time. So I was just looking at the hats I had. And when I saw the name, the company NEWERA, I said, okay, damn, DJ NEWERA. I did research. And at the time, it was only one DJ NEWERA based out of New York. And he was a Latin DJ. That's his style was just Latin. So I said, his name was DJ NEWERA NYC.
Okay.
So I said, okay, you know what? DJ NEWERA, I can be versatile with everything. So I took that and I started applying it to flyers, and the name just started to grow from there. That's how it all started.
I got you. I got you. So, for those of you who don't know, DJ NEWERA was actually the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first heavy hitter DJ out of the state of Alabama, which has recently changed. You're getting a little bit more of a coalition here in the state of Alabama. But tell us, how did that involvement actually come, and how did it feel to be the first DJ out of the state of Alabama to be a heavy hitter DJ?
Man, that how it happened, it's a real long story. I just shortened it up a little bit, but how it happened, DJ Efeezy, who went to Alabama A&M, and he's a big DJ out of Miami now. He came to, A&M has homecoming every year, and they invite, him back. So by the time, homecoming came around, DJ by the name of Dre Smooth, who was my mentor at the time when I was coming up, he would get booked to do a lot of stuff because he went to A&M, and that's who I shadowed, when it came to like setting up parties and setting up his equipment, and I just fall back and look. So he said, yo, I got a party with Efeezy tonight at the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center for homecoming. I'm like, bet. I'm there. I ain't got nothing to do. So he came. We went up there. I helped him set up. And they had him set up outside, but Efeezy was set up on the inside for the big crowd because he was kind of like the main attraction for that party. So I just hopped up on stage with DJ Temp and a couple of other DJs, and I just was in the background just watching Efeezy DJ. Like I had never met him, but he had on this chain with this guy with a baseball bat, and it had diamonds in it. And I asked him, I said, yo, what the chain mean? He said, yo, this is the biggest DJ crew in the world, period. He was like, do your research on it. He was real cocky, real arrogant. Do your research. And I'm like, all right, I check it out. So I went back to the room around about 5, 6 in the morning, and I stood up to about, it had to have been 11 o'clock on a Sunday, just watching. At the time, YouTube wasn't really big, but it was building that platform. So I was just watching stuff on YouTube about DJ Enough, at the time I thought it was just Latin DJs. You know, I didn't see many blacks. So when I saw DJ Enough, official DJ for Biggie Smalls, I was like, yo, this is big. Hot 97, the first hip hop radio station, period. When I saw how big that was, and I saw all these DJs from around the world being a part of this brand, everybody brought something to the table that was different. And I just kind of was just grinding. From there on out, I linked up with DJ Infamous, who was Luda DJ, who also went to A&M. Just grinding and steady building relationships with DJs and the crew. DJ Fat Fingers, who's real big, who's been all overseas, man, killing it, like all over Beijing, all over, just killing it. Linked up with him, just building. And then I remember one day, just fast forward, you know, I got put on the radio here in Birmingham, and I started building my relationships with a lot of A&Rs. And, you know, got to another station and just start building more and more and more. And I remember A&R sending me some music, and I'm like, yo, y'all sending me all this music. Like, what can y'all do for me? Like, how can y'all help DJ NEWERA grow? And I'm helping y'all basically put money in y'all pocket. I know the business. I know how it goes. And he was like, what you need? I said, yo, I need DJ Enough's contact because I'm writing them on Instagram, no reply. You know, I need a contact. He was like, oh, man, that's nothing. Gave me the number. I just started texting him, and he replied. I told him who I was. He said, I'm going to check you out. And weeks went by, months went by. I would hit him up every week, literally just sending him videos of what I'm doing here. And I was like, yo, can I come to New York, and can I actually sit down with you and just talk? And he was like, yeah, come on up this time. So I booked the flight. Me and one of my partners went up there. We got a room. Don't know why we got a room in New York City, because we was not in the room, but a hot 30 minutes. We showered, freshened up, and dipped right back out. Went to Hot 97, waited outside in the lobby for almost an hour or two. And Enough came in, and he literally gave me 30 minutes to an hour of his time to just sit and talk. And it wasn't even about becoming a heavy hitter. It was more so about, you know, what you got going on in the city. You know, how can you help the brand? What can you bring to the table? Okay. And once I took that iconic picture behind those celebrities, Tupac, Biggie, and I forgot who else they had on the wall up there, I-97. I came back home. I remember going to Orlando with my family for vacation. And Ephesi was like, yo, I'm with Enough. He's in Miami. I was like, bet, you know. I was like, bet. I wasn't thinking of nothing. I was just wanting to chill, just relax. And Enough texts me about an hour later. It's like, yo, I'm watching you. I was like, whoa. That was big because I didn't expect no message from him. Mm-hmm. And fast forward, this was around May. Fast forward 2 days before the 4th of July. I remember going to check the mail. I needed a haircut and everything. And Ephesi called me. He was like, yo, you a heavy hitter. Don't tell nobody. I just voted you in. I'm like, what? I was shocked. Like, I couldn't believe it because, you know, here it is. You got these DJs. Somebody told me getting a part of this crew is like being a part of the mob. Mm-hmm. Now, you know how mob movies are. You know how they very selective who they bring around. You don't know what's going on in the circle. Everything is tightly niched. Everybody got their own egos and stuff like that. So he called me. Enough called me the next day, and he was like, yo, is this DJ NEWERA from Alabama? I was like, yeah, what's up, man? He was like, you know, up north, they call each other Pop. I don't know why. Like, it's a term. So he was like, Pop, you a heavy hitter, walking to the family. And at the time, I'm getting ready to go out of town on vacation. So he was like, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to announce it while you over there. So when they announced it, man, when they made it official, yo, it was a blessing. It still is a blessing because that brand has allowed me. I mean, I was already doing things before the brand. Mm-hmm. And, you know, God God always points me in my directions of where I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
So God just attached more to me to be able to help me move around more. Because when I go to New York, when I go to Las Vegas, and I drop that name, it's like, oh, come on right in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's easier, but people know, they know that brand.
The respect is there.
The respect is there. Like when I DJ'd in Rochester, New York, I had on a coat with the logo on the back, and you probably had over 7 DJs in there, part of another crew. When they got off the set, they just stood behind me and just watched. Like you could tell they was watching. And I'm sitting back saying, damn, this shit got some real power. I kind of felt like I was getting married or something. Like niggas just watching and they sizing you up, trying to see what you gonna play next, what's the next move you gonna make. I'm like, man. And then after the end of that, it was like, yo, how can I be a part of the crew? And I'm like, man, look, I tell everybody, if you want to be a part of the crew, network with the DJs that are in the crew. Build a relationship. And it's not about having your state on lock or your city on lock. You know, at the end of the day, I don't really care about any of that stuff, because having something on lock doesn't make you the shit. What makes you the shit when it comes to this career, if you're able to put food on the table and provide for your family and take care of yourself within your career, that's what makes you successful. Not being on the biggest parties and all of that. Like that's cool. It's cool. But if you're able to withstand longevity in this career and steady grow, because you got to think long term. And I'm not going to tell you my age, but I wanted to stop doing college parties because it doesn't make sense to be this age, DJing for this age and still making this amount of money. Now, if you're going to get the big bucks of let's go. But you have to grow, man. You got to think levels. And being a part of the heavy hitters is creating multitude of stepping stones. Literally.
I got you. Now, for those of you that don't know, NEWERA has came to, like, I want to say you're probably on 50 Cablo mixtape 3,332 million trillion billion.
It's so many of those, son. Like, for real. I just dropped one Wednesday, volume 96, man. 96.
Yeah, I remember when you started off with those, and you initially started off with the artists that were local to you, and I remember we started off on Dat Pit and then my mixtapes and things of that nature. So take a moment and explain to them the process of how you went into becoming this mixtape DJ.
Okay, like I said, fresh out of college, I moved in with my folks. I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do with my life. I honestly did not know. I just knew I needed a job. Like, that's what they tell you. Go get a job and start making money. You know? So at the time, I was staying in my folks' basement, and I knew what I really wanted to do. But, you know, when you stand at your folks' house, you got to put up with whatever they tell you. Like, it's their rules. So I had to just deal with whatever my folks dished out, you know, and that made me become a better man, a better man, withstanding what you wanted to do and believe in what you wanted to do. So at the time when I was at home, I said, well, I'm not in the clubs right now. You know, I was doing like small stuff, but not like big stuff.
Right.
But I said, how can I make my name stand out even more amongst the people that's already doing stuff? I said, let me see what nobody's doing in the city anymore. I mean, you had Atlo, you got DJ Atlo who was doing stuff, but, you know, what can I do to make my brand stand out better than his? I said, you know what? Mixtapes. Let me do more mixtapes. So I started collecting. I started DJing at a club called Club Flight, and every Tuesday they had like the artist showcase night. You had artists coming there, man, from all over the city, like dope talent, in a hole in the wall spot. I used to be rocking it every Tuesday, and these artists would come up and be like, "Yo, you do mixtapes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." It'd take a couple of them. At the time, I had tapes on Dat Piff, so I would press up CDs. Artists would come in there. I have my number attached. And I just have a bunch of hot songs with my DJ tags on it. Boom, here you go. And that turned into revenue because they started coming back saying, yo, I need my tape hosted. How much? And I'm like, okay, I can't charge this much because I don't have this platform, this big platform like I would want. So I went back, I would go back home and I would just do my research on how to get on live mixtapes, how to get on these. And I came in contact, somebody gave me the contact to the owners. They gave me his email. So I prayed and I sent the email and I told him, being a part of this site can bring more attention to the state of Alabama. Because at the time, you only had one DJ on the site that was from Alabama, and that's Frank White. But I told him, I have this brand here that's very popular that would boost your site and bring you more attention and more revenue. And he replied and said, I'll check you out. So about a month later, I got on the site and I had access to upload. So I got access to upload. I said, okay, I got Fitty Cap Low. What is it? Fitty Cap Low volume 38. And at the time, you had an artist by the name of Boom Man. LA to Boom Man, I think. Yeah, Boom Man. And he was booming in Atlanta. Like, he had the Atlanta shit on lock. So I said, look, dog, I need my tape host. He said, man, whatever you need, I got you. Sent the drops. I got a cover made. I put the tape online, man. That tape got up to about 200,000 views in 1 week. 1 week, legit views, because that site was booming. And I said, you know what? I got something to work with. So each tape that I put out like that, a various artist tape, I got an artist to co-sign the brand. And that's what helped me stand out more so from Antlo and all the other mixtape DJs, because I was getting a co-sign from bigger artists. Like, yo, this is like, I think Gangsta Boo was on one, Young Jock was on one, Young Dolph was on one. Who else was on one? Man, LA Boom, man. Ace Hood was on one. Man, dang, the list so long. I got so many, I can't really think of all the names.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's funny because I remember when you were starting out with it, and I remember when you first started getting these bigger artists or celebrities, though may have you, that began hosting the mixtape. And I remember we would back then we were more so on Twitter than any other social media, and just being able to see you do your thing, definitely I attest to all of the success that is coming and has already come. One thing about you that I know that I've seen is the consistency. So I would definitely say those DJs that are just starting out, or even those that are wanting to get to a higher level or evolve, so to speak. One main element that I've got opportunity to witness was not only the tenacity, but also the consistency of staying with it, even during the times when it might have looked like the grind was slower than that and things of that nature, and starting out, and especially when you first started with the DJing. To be honest, the city was already on lock with 95.7 DJs as far as with the clubs and everything. We had Sirius, we had Stickman. It was sold up. But to see you go from, okay, I'm going to do this mixtape thing, and then you were doing the college parties, and then you started doing even the clubs from Flight to what was that club on Third? Let's speak on how you made the transition from becoming a mixtape DJ to radio DJ.
Okay, so when I got into platinum, that's when I had the chance to meet DJ Sirius because he was already in there before me. So Sirius is in the front and I was in the back. And me and Young Deal used to have a back like swinging every Saturday for 2 years straight. But when Sirius would get done, because Sirius would start from 8 to about, I think 9 to about 1. And then he'll cut off and then Leah come on and then Sirius would normally go home. But Sirius would come back there sometime and just sit around for a minute. And Sirius would just listen to me DJ. And then he was like, yo, dope. So I told him, I said, man, I said, look, bro, I'm trying to get on the radio. He was like, we'll talk about it. So a couple of months went by. He said, like, hey, he said a spot came open for a mixer. And I said, what I got to do? He was like, I got you. So 2 weeks later, he said, yo, you a jams DJ. And I was like, okay, dope. So I got on the radio. I started, learning the do's and don'ts of radio, what songs to play, what not to play. It was cool. I did that for about 2 years and I got bored.
Okay.
Because, I wasn't making no money off of it. I wasn't getting any plaques. I was just bored. And I told myself, I said, I want to do more. And, at the time, the PD was like, we don't have anything open, I'm like, but y'all, we can, but y'all got me just doing mixes. And it was like, well, we can use you for like remotes and stuff. And I'm thinking, is that gonna pay? She was like, nah, we ain't got the budget. But I'm like, y'all got these big ass artists. Like at the time, Day Day was a big artist. And then they had, who was it? 7th Street to come up to these schools. And you got the Jams truck pull up. Now, this is what they don't tell you. Anytime you see that truck, anytime you see a truck from any station, I'm not just talking
That's a paid gig.
That's a paid gig. Because somebody had to pay for it. They're not just coming out there for free.
Right. That's a live remote, guys.
A live remote. So when they was talking about we ain't got no money, and I'm like, well, y'all want me to bring speakers and these big ass turntables, and y'all want me to drive my car all the way over here to set up and not make, damn, y'all can't even pay a nigga gas money. I just got frustrated with being with that system. So I quit. I walked away from it when a better situation opened up for me. And people, were like, man, you dumb to leave jams and all of this. And I'm like, bro, like, one thing I learned, if you're not going to take risk to better yourself, then you're not going to grow. Because you can't play it safe when it comes down to the music business.